Hello again. I am still getting a few messages and a few comments for what I said a few weeks ago about not accusing the manager if transfers that he chose do not make it. And recent reports about Jim Ratcliffe planning to possibly reduce the manager's responsibilities and how much control the manager will have over transfers has made this subject relevant again. But I don't think people fully understood what I meant. I don't think people fully understood what I meant by saying that I do not agree with the manager having full control over specifically who is chosen when it comes to new players, and therefore we shouldn't accuse the manager but the club. What I meant was not that the manager's opinion should be completely irrelevant when it comes to transfers. I obviously understand that he has to be involved in which players the club buys, but involved to an extent. He should not be hand-picking specific players, at least not most times. There is a reason clubs invest heavily in their scouting and recruitment departments, and United spent 2021-22 season revamping their entire scouting and recruitment department and hiring data analysts, but then decided to not even give those new departments the time to show what they can offer, and gave absolutely full control to Erik ten Hag. The tactical level in modern football has now become so elite and demanding that managers spend so much time preparing and planning for their next opponent. They do not have the time to travel around the world scouting for new players. The manager should say what type of player he needs, and the club should provide him with the best options. The best options for the manager, but also the best options for the club. By not doing that, United are limiting their options to only the players Ten Hag knows and leaving him exposed to do a role he shouldn't. Being a good manager, a good coach, is not the same as being a good scout. They are completely different roles and different jobs. And Erik ten Hag, like most managers, has zero scouting experience. A very simple and very obvious example for what I am trying to explain is what happened with Frenkie de Jong. If Manchester United functioned as a proper football club, then A, they would have not spent an entire summer chasing a player who never really wanted to come, and B, the next option after him would not be to panic buy Casemiro because we've lost the first 2 games of the season. Who might still be a good player, but he is relatively old and a completely different player to Frenkie de Jong in almost every aspect. And also, maybe even more importantly, managers in modern football come and go. Your philosophy, your direction as a football club should be clear and always consistent. It shouldn't be dependent on any manager. If you give full control to a manager to hand-pick every single player that you bring, and then after 3 or 4 years, that manager fails and leaves, you are then left with another squad that will most likely need to be replaced again, because it is not what your next manager needs or wants. So yes, the manager should absolutely have a strong opinion on what type of players the club targets. But even though the term full control might seem like the right thing to do, it's probably not what is best for the manager, and more importantly, what is best for the club.